So we're back with another episode of Klassy Talk TV. Happy Halloween. We have Coco Red's back. We missed her.
Yes, I am back, guys. I know you guys missed me. Y'all probably like, I don't even remember her. But it's okay. It's okay.
But we're missing Elo today, so we don't have the whole group together. But we're going to still, try to get this show going.
Yes.
So today's topic is going to be about music today versus in the past and its effect on culture and things like that. But we're going to start with Classic Buzz. Normally, Elo does Classic Buzz, but I'm going to do it since she isn't here today. So I know you guys have heard about Raven Simone on The View acting a fool.
A joke. She's a joke.
She really, I would have never expected her to be like this. After being on That's So Raven, I used to love her. And now I'm just like, what happened to you? Something is wrong with her. She must have bumped her head. I don't know. She must be on something.
Clearly. Because she is not for us.
At all. It's like every time it's like a minority issue or a black issue, she's on the opposite side, and it's just like, are you black?
But it's like, why? Because at the end of the day, you're still one of us, no matter what seat you're sitting on ABC, NBC,
exactly.
Whoever's BC, whoever's Fox, you're still one of us. So at the end of the day, they're just looking at you like, ha ha ha. I mean, you think you're doing that to impress us, but it doesn't really matter.
And I don't think that she thinks that she's black. How she said she was, I'm just an American.
She's from every continent in Africa. Bye, Felicia. Somebody that's where she went wrong first. Because you're just, now, we don't even want you anymore. Because now you're just making us look dumb.
Exactly.
She's stupid.
And then she came off with the whole, I wouldn't hire you if your name was, what was it, Watermelandria or whatever.
But you know what? To her defense, on that one, I can't believe I'm really actually taking up for this girl. But to be very honest, she's just saying what most people think.
Yeah,
because
I agree with that.
There's a lot of times where nowadays a lot of these, it's not baby boomers, but a lot of the millennials having kids are really trying to be creative, but it's not being looked at as creative. It's being looked at as, what kind of name is that? And the first thing a lot of people say, even I've said a few times, is like, how are you going to get a job with that name? So she's just saying what a lot of people think, but at the end of the day, it's my qualifications, what degree I have, whatever, should not determine, or my name should not determine if I'm going to get a job with your company, because Shaquanda could have her PhD in medicine, and it's just like, I think that almost goes with the whole tattooing thing. Would you want your doctor or whatever, or your nurse to have a sleeve? But I mean, it doesn't matter. They're qualified. Qualifications.
I agree with you. I think where she went wrong is saying she doesn't really care about the qualifications. She was specifically saying, if your name is this, I don't care how qualified you are. And it's like, girl.
And that's the sad part. But I truly believe that people really feel like that. My first name is really not that urban. Right. But I know that if I pick up a phone, if I turn my voice on or off, depending on how I sound, I know somebody from my name and from my voice will know what my ethnicity is. Right. Which is very sad. And I've even thought... and I know other people, and I've read it too, that people have said, because of how my name could be mispronounced, or because I know my name is a little urban, I just put my first initial and my last name on my resume. And I honestly have thought about that before. Maybe somebody will call me back or something along those lines because I don't have my full name. But my mom was like, girl, that's silly. Nobody's going to hire you. Yeah. Nobody's going to call you back if you just have an S in your initial and a dot and then your last name. I was like, well, sometimes I honestly get sick of people saying my name wrong. Yeah. And then I don't want the fact that looking at my name, I already know what color she's going to be when she comes in. It's just but screw it. Right. I got my name. It is what it is. I'm going to correct you every time you say it wrong. I have a job.
Exactly.
I will continue to get jobs because I'm qualified, so boom.
It just sucks that it has to be that way, that people have to discriminate against, a name. Mm-hmm. But, so the newest thing is that, people have made a petition to remove Raven Simone from The View. How do you feel about this? Do you think it's,
A part of me doesn't feel like she's going to last there long anyway. Yeah. And just the fact that anytime there's a lot of changes within a company or a business or whatever you want to call it, and there have been a lot of changes within The View, I think eventually there won't be a View.
Yeah, it's probably going off within the next year.
Or something along those lines. So I feel like the petition is she's still going to say what she wants to say. Right. She's still gonna feel how she wants to feel. You putting her out of a job, like, what is that doing for you? True. At the end of the day, true. I mean, she can go somewhere else. She can go to CNN or something and have the same views, same opinion. So it's like putting her out of a job. I mean, it doesn't really make sense to me. Like, you're not signing a petition to put her out of a job because she's specifically discriminating against you, or you just saw her, she's a police officer who just did some police brutality, and you're trying to get her off the force. Like, you're just saying, I want her off her job because she's speaking her opinion, which I just feel like I'm not going to sign the petition. If they'll eventually kick her off when they're sick of her or whatever the case is. So I don't agree with it. Really.
I agree. Like, she's always going to have an opinion, and at the end of the day, everybody has an opinion. We might not agree with her, but that's how she feels. So. And
if you're a watermelon laundry, just go out here, get your degrees or get all your qualifications, your certificates, and get you a job and prove her wrong. Exactly. And just make her feel dumb with her mohawk on top of her head that's red and her unnecessary hyphen on her E and the hype or whatever, the accent mark over her E and the hyphen between her name. Like,
exactly.
There it is.
So I have another story. The other day on Billboard's Twitter, they tweeted a picture saying the apple doesn't far from the tree, and it's a picture of Kim Kardashian and Northwest, and Northwest has her tongue out licking a lollipop.
Oh no, Billboard! No, I haven't even seen that. No,
look, here it is.
No. Oh no! Why would they do that?
I think
you
that's
just
so
don't mess with people's kids.
That's
like, just leave it alone. We know what Kim did. Obviously, the Kardashian corporation, they don't care because that is a corporation.
That is.
Kim is
on E! Network.
Chris is out here pimping them, and she is doing a damn good job. But you just leave the kids out of it. She didn't ask to be here. Exactly. She didn't ask for her mom to create a sex tape to get to how big or however it got for her to get to this point. So just leave her out of it. She's very cute, and she's just an innocent little child.
That's disrespectful. They tweeted it and then they deleted it soon afterwards, but it was uncalled for. And Billboard, I'm really surprised that it was Billboard. I would have think it would be like an urban, site or something. But Billboard, come on, y'all got to do better.
Yeah,
Shaking my head. Well, that's all we have for Classic Buzz. So we're gonna move on to our topic today about music. So I want to start off just talking about who's your favorite artist right now? Do you have one or do you have a couple?
Do I have any? I was never really oh my god, this is my favorite. Yeah. When people come out with good albums and stuff, I think that was Rihanna's Rated. Was it Rated R? After all of that stuff that happened with her and Chris Brown, it was a really dark album. That was a good album for me. I like.
That's the one that had Rude Boy, right?
I think so.
Yeah, I like that.
Beyonce, I like Beyonce, but I'm no stan. I'm not going to beehive all on your Twitter, all on your Facebook, all on your Instagram if you say something bad about her. I really like J. Cole, but I want to get a little bit more into Kendrick Lamar. And I want to get a little bit more into these other artists, like your Big Crits and stuff like that, because I always hear the most underrated people that are really low on the radar are some of the greatest. So I don't really have a favorite. You make good music, or I'm guilty of sometimes the music that makes no sense, but it's very catchy. I like those too. So, I mean, if you make really good music, and I know J. Cole, a lot of times when I would sit and listen to his album after a few times, I would really digest what he was saying, and I was just like, wow, I heard this song 10 times and never really digested what he was saying. So, I like music that could really trigger my thoughts, but then I like the catchy beats too. So I don't really have a favorite. I just like pretty good music.
I don't know if I have a favorite, but I do like some people. Do you know who Tori Kelly is?
Yeah, she has a great voice.
I love her. And she's been underground and not known for so long, but she's actually finally getting her shine. So I like her. Who else do I like? I like Melanie Fiona, but she hasn't came out with anything in a long time. But I love her voice. And I love Trey Songz, but I've loved him since the cornrows and Bony
Bird Body.
And of course Chris Brown, even though he's crazy, he's like a musical genius. So and I agree with you with the catchy songs. You be turning up to the songs, but sometimes it's okay, they have no substance.
At all.
But they're cool to have fun too. So I was thinking, this is just my personal opinion, that music today is different from in the past because of the presence of social media. And social media is so prevalent, like in people's, careers, that they can, promote their music on SoundCloud, Instagram. You can start off like, as a Vine sensation, and then, start making songs. So I feel like it's kind of oversaturated because anybody can be like an artist now, like your mother, your brother, your sister, everybody's out here trying to rap, sing. And if you're a female and you have, like sex appeal and you throw a little auto-tune on your voice, anybody could be a singer. So I feel like it's kind of oversaturated, but there's pros and cons to social media. So what do you think about like social media and like music? Do you think they like relate?
I have that battle with myself too about social media, because I just feel like everything because of social media is oversaturated. The whole online clothing business, the whole I do makeup, the whole I'm a stylist. I feel like all of that is oversaturated because social media, but I also feel like, it could be beneficial for the artist, because I don't think 15, 20 years ago somebody could drop an album at midnight and it be like the Friday the 13th. It was just like December 13th? Yeah. It was a Friday the 13th. Like Beyonce just let the world have it. But I don't think anybody could do that 15 years ago because of social media. So I also think because of social media, a lot of people feel as though they can be independent. So I think that could be helpful too, because if you're on a record label, so much money you got to give to them, where you independent, it goes a little differently. And I'm no music connoisseur. I don't really know about all of the money and all the logistics and stuff when you're signed and when you're not signed, but I just know from different conversations I've had that social media, it could be a hit or miss, and it could be, could be an up or down, just depending on a lot of things. Like, there are people out here that feel like social media is good for them, but then you have those artists that are really, you just want to be an artist just because. I feel like I know of somebody who can produce that could really do something for me, where it's somebody out here that's really grinding hard and really want it, and you may get it before them, but so social media has its goods and its bads. I want to hope that it's for the greater good that social media is out there, but
I agree with the whole label thing, because most of our like artists that we listen to today, they're not signed to a major label. Like, that's not the way to go anymore. So I mean, to each his own.
So for the labels, I feel like maybe social media may be hurting them.
Yep, for sure.
I just think it's going to be a lot of changes being made, and it may be eventually like a lot of labels starting to shut down. This isn't bad. There's no more Bad Boy, right? Like, I think eventually people are going to have to let go, and then something else is going to be on the rise for how to get popping, and you're an artist some kind of way. So, I don't know.
So do you think that music has lost its substance, or do you think it's like the same as like? Because my favorite is like 90s R&B. Like, I love 90s R&B. That was like classic to me. Yeah. But do you think music has like lost its substance?
Kind of. But I think that's when you get your Kendrick Lamars and your J. Coles and your Big Crits to get your mind going and your juices flowing in your brain to make you think like, did he just really say that? And it's just like, I just really wish we could have some female artists that can do that. Because I don't really know of too many. But yeah, I kind of think it has lost its substance and that they need to reel it in. Even the other day I was listening to, I can't even remember what I was bowling, and they kept playing like a couple old songs, and what was the song? Sir Mix-a-Lot. It was a song that he was singing, and just the way he was rapping, I was just like, I kind of miss 90s rap and R&B, like how they flowed. And then some of their music, because everything is like a hard bass and all this other stuff. I'm just like, I kind of miss that, even though I was a kid of the 90s. So I technically grew up in the 2000s. Right. But the little bit of music that I did hear, I really liked it. So a lot of times I wish they could go back to that. Even with some of the samples that people do now, that kind of gives me a little bit of feeling.
I agree.
So that's my opinion on the whole music thing and substance.
I agree too. I think it has lost its substance, but like you said, there's artists that still, have substance in their music. And I feel like you don't have to sell out. Like, you can still have music with substance and people can still be like, hey, okay, this song is cool. Like Kendrick Lamar, like, he still has some like hard beats, but he's he's spitting some real stuff. So I don't know, I think people just have to need to understand that, and they need to understand that even if they don't want to be a role model, they are a role model for younger generations. So the stuff that you're saying in these songs, these kids are just eating it up.
Yeah.
So,
but my cousin, he's like underground trying to break out and get into that. And one day we had like an hour conversation about him getting on, and he was just like, it takes time. He had a girlfriend at the time. He was just, telling her be patient because it takes time. And like in this industry, you can't be. It's like hard to be a conscious rapper. He's like, you gotta throw out all these hooplas and something that you can just dance to, or you're really not listening to.
Exactly.
And he's like, it's really hard to make it because he's like, I can do both. But people aren't going to want to hear the good stuff that makes you think, that makes your mind, trigger or whatever. He's like, they want to hear the foolishness. And
they do.
Whatever study came out, I can't remember what the study was, and I don't even know if it was a real study, so don't quote me, but that most of the singing and rapping that's done right now by some of our most favorite artists are like on the third grade level.
Probably is, because it's like, especially like, I love Migos, like, turning up and stuff, but I can rap that. Like, you're just saying stuff that sounds good, and the beat is what people are dancing to. They're not listening to what you're saying for real. So,
So it is kind of, I guess I will feel for some of these people that are out on the love, well, not on the love, because that's not a good way to say it, but on the underground that wants to get put out there, because you have people that can throw a catchy beat together and have a really great producer and not really talk anything, or they'll be talking stuff that they're really not about because they grew up in the suburbs, and it's like somebody's going to gravitate to it and grab it. So
I definitely agree. And I'm going to get on like vulgarity of lyrics and stuff. I feel like in the 90s and before, they were saying the same stuff, but they had like metaphors and similes, and they were saying it like, you had to really think about like, oh, they talking about sex. But now it's just like, girl, I want to, like they're just out here saying stuff, and it's just like, all right, I don't know.
Because now when you listening to songs on the radio, it's all pretty much all changed up, and I'm just like, what is this foolishness that I'm listening to? Let me put on Pandora. Let me listen to Bryson Tiller, the real deal. Because I'm not listening to how y'all can't even say what is in Big Sean's song. I'm the man that's your man. Even I was like, I'm the man that's your man. Even when you got a man, I was like, no, this doesn't even sound right. I don't even like it. So
exactly,
yeah, I understand that it's a bit more like. Real
vulgar.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's affecting like our younger generations, because I feel like it's making them desensitized to certain stuff. Because I feel like when we were younger, I know me, when I was little, I was like, ew, sex is nasty before like I grew up. But I feel like kids now, they popping it and all this stuff to these songs, and they're desensitized to it. So I don't know.
Yeah, and it doesn't help that these girls that are 12 and 13 look like they a whole 20.
What's in the chicken? What's in the chicken, okay?
Let me tell you, Chick-fil-A about to get cut out of the diet too, because I would say McDonald's, but some of these kids not even eat McDonald's. Chick-fil-A is the new wage.
Yes. These kids look grown, okay? I look like I'm 12 and these kids look like they 24.
Yeah, like it's not okay. And I remember going to my old high school, because that's where my sister goes. And I was just looking at the girls with the bags and the long nails and the weave to their butts and the real super blonde or really red hair, and I'm just like, if I can rewind it to, I'm not gonna tell you how long ago, but umpteen years ago when I was in school, we weren't really making our uniforms pop like that. The only way was like with sneakers. But now they can adjust their uniforms. They can wear what kind of sweaters, what kind of shoes. I saw so many sparkly Uggs, so many Marc Jacob bags, Michael Kors bags, and I'm just like, I can't even take it.
I agree. I feel like kids are just such in a rush to grow up. But then when you grow up, you're like, I want to go back to being a kid, because when you have all the responsibilities of being an adult, that's real. That's when you really are like, oh, wait, I'm not ready.
And I just said that yesterday. I'm not ready. Can I just rewind?
Exactly. So if you are young watching this, don't be in a rush to grow up, Kylie Jenner. Like,
it's too late. Let that go. It is way too late. It's too late. This is a corporation. You have to listen. This is a corporation. It's too late. She's lost. It's done. It's done.
Ridiculous. So we kind of touched on this, but do you think that music is more than like having talent now? Like being a music artist?
I will say yes.
I agree too.
I will say yes, because like with social media and all that, and you got to be funny on Vine. 5 seconds, you're funny on Instagram. 15 seconds, and there you go. The girl, like, I don't know, and I don't know her past. What is it? Tokyo Daddy, my best friend Finna. I don't know her background. I don't know if she was one of those that video just sparked. What she really wanted was to be a musical artist, but after that, that's what you all you always hear her in the studio. She has an official song now. Right. She had a big old issue with Young Thug and Trey Songz about that My Best Friend song. So I really think that sometimes it just happens. Yeah. And then sometimes it's like a kickoff for some people that really wanted to get into that. Like the guy, what was his name? Avery Wilson. Yes. Like I really watched all his mashups and stuff. And it's just like, okay, really you deserve it. You deserve to get put on like this. I'm not a fan of the song that he has out now. I was just about to say that. Do you feel like he sold out for that? That's exactly how I feel. Because he can sing. But he's like a ballad. You have to sing ballads. And he has this song with Migos. And I was really mad. Like, I called my friend. I was like, you have to listen to this song because I'm mad that he put this out. That's exactly how I feel. I feel like he did what they wanted him to do. And even I want to say that eventually he'll be one of those that sees what went wrong because he's so young and he'll go out and be on his own. Yeah. And he can make good music. Right. The type of music that we all thought he should make because of all the mashups we saw and all those videos we saw put together. The crazy thing about it is his voice is so great that I feel like he could have came out with a ballad and we would have loved it. Because you see Sam Smith, he has success and he's not out here singing, oh, I'm trying to get you in the club. Like, no! It doesn't even sound right. Like, he has like this beautiful voice and then you got Migos on here talking about and then you sound like you're like a Jamaican or something or a Guyanese. And I'm just like, I didn't even know who it was. And then I heard them say Avery Wilson. I was like, what? That's how I felt too. That's how I felt. But a lot of times you're young because I think he's only 20 or 21. Yeah. You're young. This is your first time around the rodeo. You're gonna make mistakes. It's not gonna pan out exactly how you want it to pan out. And I just feel like he has to learn from this because that was not a good one. True. I feel like music these days, it allows you to be more creative. Like, you can create your own lane for real. Like, Future and people, Young Thug, these people who are, like, singing / rapping. I don't know what that is, but they've made, like... they've made, like, their own lane. It's like, I mean, love it or hate it, they've made their own lane of music. So even though I never understand what Future's saying, ever in life. Or Young Thug. Like, last night... I was on Snapchat and me and my friend was listening to the Best Friend song and I was like, what did he just say? Like, what are you talking about? This has nothing to do with the best friend other than the chorus. I don't know. What else about music can we talk about? I don't know. The whole, I guess one good thing to touch on is the music videos. And how people are always saying women are being objectified. And one guy on Instagram had praised Drake because he was like, I saw all the memes, but what I think is funnier is that nobody really addressed the fact that none of these women were objectified in his video. True. I mean, there were. It wasn't really too much. It wasn't in the video. I agree. I could have used a little bit more chocolates in there, Drake, but whatever. Yeah. But, I mean, I agree, but these women sign up for this. Yeah. And this whole objectifying women has been happening since, like, the 2000s with the Mysticals and the Shake It Fast and all of that. And the tip drill. But it's like, I mean, that's when the whole thing about women, they can't be sexual or whatever. I feel like it's like a fine line between the two because... Like the whole Nicki Minaj cover. She came out, had her butt out, but then she posted the Sports Illustrated cover, like, oh, but they can do this and it's all right. Right. Is it because they're less curvy? I mean, is it because they're models and she's a rapper and she's not supposed to? So I don't know. I feel like I don't always agree. I don't think that as a woman, even in some of these videos, you'll see guys just rapping in front of a white screen or a black screen or whatever, and then a woman just off to the left, two women off wherever, just popping it. And it's just like, what is your purpose in the video? Exactly. There's just really no purpose. It's just like now, it's like the norm to have a girl popping somewhere in your video just because that's what you're supposed to do. Even if the song isn't about a girl, you could be talking about money the whole time. It has to be a girl in it, though. So I feel like you're selling a lifestyle.
So if you have money, you gotta have women.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But I don't always agree. I don't always feel like that has to be your casting call. We need women 36, 24, exactly. 79.
Oh, 79.
So you're gonna have to wear a bathing suit and you're gonna be popping while we throwing money. But these women sign up for it. That's their meal ticket. They feel like if I get here, then I'm gonna get there, and I'm gonna go on and on. And I just want people to be better and sometimes use your brain. Like, you don't always have to use your body to get ahead, because after a while, all that Botox and those shots are gonna fall down. So no shade, no shade, no tea. You know, I'm no size 4, but I also would like to use my brain with this degree that I'm in so much debt for.
Hello. How do you feel about Travis Scott? Do you like him, or have you listened to his music?
Not really. That Antidote song, when he sung it or when he rapped it at the BET Awards, was it last year or this year? Was it this year?
Past year.
This year. I kind of like that song, and I was like, I may have to put this on my iTunes, but that's as far as it went. Sorry.
He's like another one that's like kind of creating his own lane, because he has like the auto tune. I mean, after I heard Anecdote, I was like, oh, maybe I listened to his album, and it was actually pretty good. Like, it kind of all sounds the same. Like, it all sounds kind of like auto tuning a little bit. But I mean, I think he's very creative, so I think he's somebody to look out for.
And Bryson Tiller.
Yes, his album
every day.
Yeah, I be seeing you on Snap, girl.
Don't be playing with me. I will have that thing playing. I was so upset when he had his little album, his listening party, that I couldn't be there. But
where was it? It was here?
It was in Northeast somewhere. I think it might have been like on the low, and they might have only told like.
Where is he from?
Kentucky.
Oh wow.
But I was totally here, and he's like a weird. He gives me like that. He might be weird, quiet, real plain but cool. Yeah, like I don't know what it is, but I really like his music. When I follow him on Instagram, I'm interested in pictures. I'm really into pictures and stuff. So how he posts his pictures is he and Luke James. I really like how they post their pictures and whatnot. So be on the lookout for him.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I didn't know about him until I heard that song. I mean, I might be late, but until I heard Don't on the radio, I was like, oh, I like this song. And then his album came out, and I was like, yes, I've never heard of him before. Mm-hmm. But apparently he got popping on SoundCloud, and then he came out with the album and stuff. So
yeah, I'm here for him. And I like the fact that he's with RCA, but he's not like the music that I'm hearing, and I haven't really followed him beforehand, but the music that you can honestly listen to his whole album all the way through, and it's not like,
and it sounds
this doesn't even sound it's not like this doesn't even sound like something that he would do. Like, all the way through is good.
He probably just used, because I'm not an expert either, but like after watching a lot of music interviews, I kind of understand some stuff. He probably uses RCA for distribution, so like selling his stuff, but he doesn't use them for like other stuff. So he can still. He doesn't have to listen to them like creative wise, but they'll back him as far as like selling his albums and stuff like that.
Well, then that's good. I'm here for whoever, however is being done. Right. I like the album. Keep it going. Come out with some good stuff. More good stuff.
Agreed. So, what are your thoughts about music? Comment on this video. We want to know your thoughts.
Let us know.
All right, our next segment is going to be I Got a Question. You got some
Bored. Okay. Let me get myself together, because thank God there's not anybody in here with me, or anybody that'll try to go against me, because when I get on Facebook, people comments just really burn my soul. Yes. So this is my question. Why when a little, and I won't say a little girl, but I'll say a young girl in high school sitting in her seat has to get physically assaulted by a police officer, tossed to the floor in one instance, and then tossed again like a rag doll, to be arrested for what none of us really know except for the people in that room, and everybody's saying she deserved it. In what world does someone between the ages of 13 and 16 deserve to be brutalized in any way by a school police officer that's probably twice her size?
Maybe more than twice. He was pretty big, but
what I don't understand how somebody deserves it.
Nobody deserves it. Like, I don't care what she was doing. Like, this is a frail little girl. What are you doing?
But I think it's a lot of victim blaming, and I've seen this a lot too. The victim, the whole victim blaming, and that happens with a lot of stuff. Whether it's the rape, you know, the whole Bill Cosby thing. I think it's a lot of victim blaming.
For sure.
But I just feel like as Black people, we get it the worst. And we just had Sandra Bland. If she would have just, then this wouldn't have happened. If this little girl would have just, then this wouldn't have happened. But and I'm just like, why?
That's not the case for white people. Like, they can do whatever. I mean, this is I'm not racist, but I'm just saying, pointing out facts. You don't say that in a white case, if they would have just did this, because they're not, this stuff isn't happening to them.
Exactly.
Like, I saw something on, I think, Instagram yesterday, and this guy was pulling out a gun on cops. They didn't shoot him. Like,
but if it was us,
what?
They would have took us one for the head to take you out. And after that whole incident happened, I follow a lot of the activists and stuff on Twitter. So I'm looking through their Twitter, and one person made they pulled up an article actually, which had, it happened in Tennessee, I believe, in April of last year. And you see the picture, one white officer grabbing and choking a college student, and he was white. He got fired immediately. But why, when it's a little Black girl